今你护体，只差最后一球星辰图傍身，降魂点，此间之事便已了。
这是最后一天。
姐，
可势力蠢蠢欲动，想着瓜分
罗夫人。
若不给我一个完美答复，接下来就交给我吧。我不介意。告诉你们的家主践踏王，他陨落。
Hello everyone, welcome to the Al-Rasta channel. Here, I will share spoilers for SwallowedStar episode 197. Remember, this is based on the novel, so it won't be 100% similar to the Donghua version. Okay, without further ado, let's dive right into the story. Continuing from episode 196 of the Donghua version, Luo Feng is in critical condition with his soul on the verge of destruction after struggling for more than 6,000 years to complete the Star Tower legacy. Meanwhile, Puti watches his struggle with concern and asks him to give up. However, Luo Feng continues to persevere with the sole thought of returning to his family. At the most critical moment, an evolution occurs within his soul, and the legacy crystal finally manages to fuse perfectly with his soul. After succeeding, he falls asleep for 9 years due to extreme spiritual exhaustion. When he awakens, Luo Feng finds 2 figures in front of him, Puti and a 900-meter-tall figure who is the creator of the Earthling race. This figure congratulated him and declared that Luo Feng was now the leader of the Earthling race with the right to become an absolute warrior in the universe. He would be the 3rd and final disciple of this master, after Puti and the leader of the Flame God race, both of whom were warriors at the universe master level. The master explained his unique teaching philosophy. He provided the best resources for his disciples, but would not teach them any techniques directly and would not care whether they lived or died. True warriors must grow from their own efforts. He had planned everything since the beginning of the universe and spent the wealth accumulated over countless eras to prepare his disciples. The master had prepared 4 treasures for his 2 disciples. For Luo Feng, he prepared the Star Tower and Force Armor. The Star Tower was the most powerful treasure of all, because during the manufacturing process, a special change occurred that made its power grow exponentially, although this also made the process of recognizing the master tens of thousands of times more difficult. For Luo Feng's 2nd senior, who was the leader of the Flame God race, he prepared the Flame God Halberd and the original soul. The master created the Earthling race with a different approach from the Flame God race. He created the 9-volume manual, which contradicted the laws of the universe, to improve the foundation of Earthlings to exceed rare and powerful life forms, such as beast gods. The Earthling race was designed with mental conditions as the core, possessing a very strong soul, will, and consciousness. Although their physical bodies were relatively weak with their strong consciousness and will, they were worthy of respect from various races in the universe. On the other hand, Force Armor and Original Soul had the special ability to reproduce. Force Armor could produce soldier armor, generals, kings, and emperors suitable for the Flame God race. Meanwhile, Original Soul can produce souls in the same 4 categories and can only be used by Earthlings. This armor and soul have high requirements on the body and soul of the user, with higher levels requiring exponentially greater strength. Then the master took Luo Feng to a special room inside the Star Tower that contained over 1 million colorful water droplets floating in the air. This was the Original Soul, the future treasure of the Earthling race, consisting of 1 million warrior souls, 100,000 general souls, 10,000 king souls, and 1,000 emperor souls. With these treasures, the Earthling race could create a terrifying army of mental masters, reduce the death rate of their elite warriors, and increase the possibility of producing universe-venerable warriors. Although Luo Feng was still a world master who was considered weak because he had passed the life and death inheritance in the Star Tower, his will and consciousness were already very strong, even surpassing many universe venerables. The master gave him 2 general souls, one for his human body and one for his golden-horned behemoth. The master then took Luo Feng on a tour of the Star Tower using a ship created from water droplets. This journey revealed the master's extraordinary abilities as one of the most powerful beings in the universe. Within his domain, even the laws of the universe had to obey his every command. He could alter the basic rules of reality, such as making fire freeze, changing the speed limit, or commanding life to die. This was a privilege granted to the most powerful beings by the original laws of the universe. The vast star tower, 9 light-years high, also had endless space inside. There were countless heavenly pillars with intricately carved laws, strange treasures with immense energy, and many spinning sealed stars. Everything worked together like a terrifying machine to form the true treasure of the Star Tower. Even the Master did not fully understand these engraved laws, because the special changes that occurred during the creation process were a miracle of the universe. After completing the Master recognition process, Luo Feng could sense and access the entire tower with ease. He could take the sealed stars and enter the forbidden spaces without difficulty. However, triggering the full power of the Star Tower was still far beyond his ability. The Master explained that the Star Tower had unlimited power, but controlling it was very difficult and required extraordinary strength. Even Force Armor alone required 100 million times the strength of a World Master, which could usually only be achieved by a Universe-Venerable warrior. When Luo Feng broke through to the Immortal level, he would likely become an extremely powerful, invincible Immortal King-level warrior. After practicing the 9-volume manual, he would become similar to a special form of life and be able to use Force Armor. However, the Star Tower was hundreds of times stronger than the armor, making it much more difficult to control. The Master stated that it would be very difficult for Luo Feng to use the Star Tower perfectly, and that achieving this would require a long journey. When he was finally able to do so, even using the smallest amount of power, it would be very easy for him to suppress the Universe Venerables. If he managed to break through to Universe Master with these 2 treasures, especially the Star Tower, he would definitely reach the highest level of power and might even be able to suppress the Chaos City Lord, who was the strongest Universe Master in the human race. The Earthling race had a limitless future. Because they had to be born on Earth for their souls to be special, this limited their numbers and made the Earthling race as rare as the Flame God race. However, the percentage of strong warriors will be very high. With the guidance and nurturing of Luo Feng in the future as an absolute warrior, the name of Earth will spread far and wide to become a formidable force among the trillions of races in the universe. The foundation has been perfectly laid, and now it all depends on Luo Feng's own hard work and struggle to build a glorious future for the Earthling race. Then, to make it easier to control the Star Tower, Master Zuoshan Ke gave Luo Feng a treasure called the Star Map, a giant map with terrifying energy capable of uniting up to 100,000 sealed stars. This map is a true treasure that can instill attack techniques and generate unlimited power when attacking. From the Star Tower, only about 10,000 sealed stars are not important to the tower's structure and can be taken. Originally, sealed stars were created for attack, but special changes during the tower's construction gave them sealing abilities that exceeded expectations. Before Luo Feng could control the entire Star Tower, controlling this collection of sealed stars would be a huge advantage. The Master explained that the 9 whirlpools around the Star Tower serve to regenerate its energy by absorbing it from the universe. This 9 light-year tall tower requires enormous energy that even an absolute warrior cannot supply directly. Therefore, the Master requested that the tower remain in place until Luo Feng could fully activate it. This tower had attracted the attention of the most powerful beings in the universe, and if it disappeared, it would cause a huge commotion. None of the hundreds of thousands of Immortal King fighting there would escape. Even the founder of Huge Axe and the Chaos City Lord would take it from Luo Feng. Only after he had power equal to theirs would he have the right to carry the Star Tower. Luo Feng now had 3 treasures. The first was the disguised treasure from the Chaos City Lord. The second was the Tower Pearl, which was fused with his soul as the control center of the forbidden space, with the main ability of sealing absolute warriors and protecting his soul. The third is the Star Map, which is considered a low-level treasure. These 3 treasures have never been seen in the universe, so no one can recognize them. The Master reminded him not to be arrogant because these 3 treasures are not even a small part of the real Star Tower or Force Armor. Regarding the 9-volume manual, there are a total of 5 Heavenly Soul Crystal fragments. Luo Feng already has 2. The other 3 are placed in increasingly difficult and dangerous areas of the universe. At the World Master level, he can obtain one. At the Immortal level, another. And after becoming a Universe Venerable, he can obtain the last one. When he completes the set, he will be very close to triggering the entire Star Tower. After all preparations were complete, the Master would not help him anymore in the future. Everything depended on Luo Feng's own efforts. After the Master disappeared, Luo Feng asked Pu Ti for his teacher's name. No one knew his real name, but the Absolute Warrior gave him the title Zuo Shan Qi because he often sat on the top of the mountain. His second senior was named Cao Ben Qi, known as Emperor Yan. After Pu Ti took his leave, Luo Feng stood alone in the temple. From now until he controlled the Star Tower, the Master would not care at all. Everything truly depended on his own efforts to grow into a powerful warrior. Luo Feng walked inside the temple and summoned the sealed stars. The tower channeled energy, and more than 10,000 sealed stars gathered in front of him. From the 16,235 sealed stars that were insignificant to the tower's structure, he decided to take 100 first. With the star map given by his master, the 100 sealed stars landed on the star map and formed a special connection. Then Luo Feng tried to implant the sky-tearing claw technique and saw 6 sealed stars shine. This showed that his technique required 6 sealed stars. The star map was a perfect mental treasure that could change techniques at any time, and he named this treasure the Star Diagram. Next, he absorbed the General's soul, which had 10,000 times the soul power of an ordinary world master. With his strong will and consciousness, he could unleash power similar to that of a pinnacle immortal king. As for the Tower Pearl, it protected his soul, providing an almost impenetrable defense. With the Shi Wu wings, Tower Pearl, General Armor, General Soul, and Star Diagram, Luo Feng now has a foundation that is enough to make the Immortal Kings despair. During the 6,000 years of inheritance, Luo Feng's strength increased dramatically in many aspects. While his understanding of the Beast God's path had reached level 20, his Mosha body could now use teleportation to escape in emergency situations. His improvement was very significant. His will was thousands of times stronger, and his master left behind treasures that many Universe Venerable warriors were crazy about. Even against powerful warriors such as King Sevenblade or King Lifefall, he no longer needed to be afraid. He was very confident after receiving the inheritance from Zuo Shan Qi, one of the strongest beings in the universe. Now everything is settled. It's time to visit his family. Luo Feng's gaze softened as he thought of his dearly missed family. During the life or death inheritance, he endured everything because he wanted to see them again. After his master left and all preparations were completed by finishing the Star Diagram and absorbing the General's soul, it was finally time to meet the family he had longed for. After 6,000 years of living and death in Star Tower, Luo Feng finally connected to the virtual world and found thousands of messages waiting for him. He received messages from Chaos City, Lord, who contacted him twice, Master Zhen Yan, who reached out 9 times, several friends, and most surprisingly his wife Xu Xin, who sent 38,192 letters. His family was very worried because Luo Feng's last letter mentioned that he was in danger and might not be able to be seen for a long time. Xu Xin's letters were like a diary recording her life over hundreds of years, full of worry even though she tried to sound happy. Luo Feng felt very bitter, realizing how difficult those times had been for his family. Because he had not responded for more than 6,000 years, many rumors spread that he had died. Luo Feng decided to visit his family first before meeting Chaos City Lord and Master Zhen Yan. He went straight to 9-Star Bay on Black Dragon Mountain and found his son Luo Ping drinking alone with worry. When Luo Ping saw his father, he immediately hugged him happily, and all the pressure he had been carrying disappeared instantly. Luo Ping explained that the Luo family had experienced many problems since Luo Feng's message was received. They began to reorganize the family's management more strictly and reduce the number of members who brought them enemies. The biggest problem came from the Rose family in the Jinlan Universe Kingdom led by King Jianta. The family refused to give way in business matters and began to bully the Luo family, possibly because they had heard rumors that Luo Feng had died and wanted to exert great pressure on the Luo family. Luo Feng was furious to hear this, and immediately took Luo Ping to meet Xu Xin, who was negotiating with the Rose family's envoy. The negotiations had been going on for 7 days, and that day was the last day with threats from the Rose family. Xu Xin felt pressured because if he gave in, the rumors about Luo Feng's death would become even more rampant, and other families would begin to take advantage of the situation. Suddenly, the door burst open, and Luo Feng, clad in silver armor, walked in with an aura of pressure that made everyone from the Rose family pale. With a cold gaze, he told them to inform King Jianta that anyone who dared to bully his family had great courage. He asked if King Jianta had been bribed by another race and said that without a proper answer, he would not mind killing King Jiantai and wiping out the entire Rose family. The Rose family envoys were all shocked into silence. They bowed respectfully and left the room dejectedly, their pride completely shattered. Inside the hall, everyone from the Luo family looked elated. Xu Xin stood trembling with excitement as she looked at her husband, who was still alive after all. Luo Feng turned to his wife and gently held her hand, saying that it must have been very difficult for her. The others left obediently, leaving only Luo Feng and Xu Xin alone. With tears streaming down her face, Xu Xin said that his return was enough. Luo Feng promised that no one would bully their family again as he gently stroked her face. Remembering the more than 30,000 letters he had sent, he felt very sorry for owing his wife so much. They hugged for a while, Xu Xin lying on his chest, feeling the warmth, heartbeat, and energy she had longed for. Luo Feng embraced his wife Xu Xin in warm silence. Although they did not utter a single word, their souls were connected, and they could sense each other's thoughts. Luo Feng felt Xu Xin's longing and love, while Xu Xin felt a deep sense of guilt and longing for her husband. After a while, Xu Xin asked him not to worry his family anymore and to try not to enter dangerous areas, even though she knew that the path to becoming a strong warrior was very risky. Luo Feng then asked about King Jianta of the Rose family. Xu Xin explained that initially they were polite, but when they couldn't contact Luo Feng, they began to lose their manners and tried to step over the Luo family. Because Luo Feng was a disciple of the Chaos City Lord, his family's power grew rapidly, and they did business with almost everyone. Almost no one dared to bully them. Xu Xin suspected that another race was involved in this incident to test whether Luo Feng was really still alive. Luo Feng realized that King Jianta was forcing him to show himself and prove that he was still alive. Luo Feng promised that no one would bully the Luo family anymore, and then Luo Feng took his leave to meet with the Chaos City Lord with the promise of returning for dinner with Xu Xin. At the highest peak of Thunder Island, Luo Feng entered the palace enveloped in chaotic energy and met his teacher. The Chaos City Lord welcomed his return and carefully observed him. He was surprised to find that Luo Feng's consciousness had grown much stronger, and he had gained a high recognition of the laws of space, even being able to teleport now. This was the highest level of recognition, marked by many dotted stars on his forehead. When asked about his understanding of the laws, Luo Feng replied that he was around level 20 on his beast god path. The Chaos City Lord was surprised that his improvement was so great and comparable to the best human geniuses, such as KD and Venerable Shihuo. Luo Feng said this was mostly due to luck. But the Chaos City Lord reminded him that luck was also part of power. Chaos City Lord explained that position within the Hongmeng Alliance was indeed important, but strength was more important. Because Luo Feng had disappeared for 6,000 years without showing his strength, many people looked down on him. He advised Luo Feng to try the highest level Sky Mountain Challenge, which must be passed with his level 20 understanding of the law. Only the absolute peak geniuses in history could pass it. After succeeding, his name and reputation would spread, and no one would dare to mess with him again. The Chaos City Lord also reminded him of the importance of knowing when to hold back and when to show his strength. The identity of King Blade River must be separated from Luo Feng's identity. If other races knew he had a slave like King Heavy Arrow, they would spend large sums to kill him. The Chaos City Lord had created a complete identity for King Blade River without any loopholes and would arrange for the Hongmeng Alliance to welcome him. Luo Feng would have 2 slots, one as Luo Feng and one as King Blade River. The Chaos City Lord then gently asked how Luo Feng was able to use the Flame God armor and kill so many immortal kings so easily. Luo Feng explained that he could naturally use the armor, indicating his connection to the Flame God race and the Earthling race. To kill the Emperor, he relied on the armor, Shi Wu Wings, and Fei Mo Poison. He also used soldier armor when he first entered the extraterritorial battlefield, then switched to general armor as his strength increased. Luo Feng revealed an important secret, that on the Yanji continent, he had successfully absorbed 10 Blood River crystals and become a black soldier. This was information he couldn't hide for too long. The Chaos City Lord was very surprised and delighted to hear this. The Black Soldier was a legend even on the Blood River continent, something that many warriors could not achieve because it was too risky. He said good 3 times, and his attitude towards Luo Feng clearly improved. The stronger Luo Feng became, the more the Chaos City Lord liked him because of all the achievements Luo Feng had accomplished. Luo Feng was extremely surprised that the Chaos City Lord had said good 3 times. He knew very well that his teacher was very strict and serious, rarely praising anyone. Even his own creation, Bright Moon, which had been praised before, had not received such praise. Luo Feng thought that becoming a black soldier with 10-fold genetic enhancement was indeed special, but it was not enough to warrant such a reaction. He realized that becoming a black soldier must mean more than he knew. The Chaos City Lord asked him not to spread the news about becoming a black soldier because it had been a long time since humans had had such a warrior. He praised Luo Feng's talent in the Beast God path as being very high, and his combination as a black soldier was an absolutely perfect combination. Because his understanding of the laws was already very high, he could break through to the Immortal level at any time. The Chaos City Lord asked when Luo Feng was ready to do so. Luo Feng replied that he wanted to explore the secret area first before breaking through. His plan was to obtain the 3rd metal board of the 9-volume manual. Although his Beast God presence had already reached level 20, and he could break through at any time, he did not dare to because he had not yet found the 3rd clone. If he broke through, his inner world would become a god country, and it would no longer be possible to produce a 3rd clone. Chaos City Lord frowned upon hearing the plan to explore the secret area. Those areas were extremely dangerous. Even Universe Venerables could fall like KD before. He suggested that Luo Feng break through first, because after becoming an Immortal Warrior, he would be much stronger with higher defensive capabilities. It would not be too late to explore the secret areas after that. Luo Feng explained that he had to find the 3rd clone from a special life form. Chaos City Lord understood because he already knew about the 3 clone slots of the golden-horned behemoth. He mentioned that the Treasury and the Hongmeng Alliance City sold special life forms and their remains. However, Luo Feng explained that he needed World Master Level cloning material, and most of what was available was Immortal Level. World Master Level special life forms were very rare because they usually knew that many were after them and rarely left the secret area while still weak, making it easy for them to become immortals. The Chaos City Lord reminded him that World Master special life forms were almost all hiding in secret areas and were very difficult to capture. However, Luo Feng's clone production only required feathers or scales, so it was still worth a try. He ordered Luo Feng to act according to his strength and not to overdo it. After that, Luo Feng visited his second master, Master Zhenyan, at his palace. He brought 2 packs of precious wine, Spirit Downfall and 9 Peaks wine, worth more than 3 million Hunyuan. Master Zhenyan was very happy to receive this gift because he had only drunk Spirit Downfall once, even though he could afford it. While chatting and drinking, Luo Feng offered Master Zhenyan a true treasure, an ancient clock he had obtained in the extraterritorial battlefield. He explained the abilities and requirements of the treasure in detail. Since he already had treasures from the Chaos City Lord, he did not need this one. Master Zhenyan was very pleased with his disciple's thoughtfulness, but politely declined. As an invincible immortal king warrior who had lived for trillions of years and was stronger than many other immortal kings, he already had many true treasures of his own. The ancient clock was also not suitable for his path. Despite his refusal, Master Zhenyan's smile widened as he was touched by Luo Feng's sincerity. Master Zhenyan then inquired about Luo's family and heard about the trouble with King Jianta of the Rose family. He frowned and recalled that Jianta had only recently become an immortal king, and it was all thanks to the guidance of Venerable Goldmist, an ordinary universe venerable with few disciples. Master Zhenyan was surprised that Jianta dared to cause trouble with the Luo family because Even his teacher, Venerable Gold Mist, would treat Luo Feng with respect. As disciples of the Chaos City Lord, even just his senior group would be able to intimidate Venerable Gold Mist. The Chaos City Lord's disciples were mostly Universe Venerables, such as Gui Yi and Venerable Golden Axe. Master Zhen Yan concluded that this must be because Luo Feng had disappeared with rumors that he had fallen on the battlefield. Zhen Yan's eyes flashed with ferocity as he said that Luo Feng must investigate thoroughly and punish them severely. At times like this, he had to set an example for others so that they would be afraid and not dare to bully his family again. So what happens next? Let's wait and see in the next video, guys. Okay, thank you for watching until the end, and don't forget to support this channel with likes, subscribe, and comments. That's all from me. Bye.
可势力蠢蠢欲动，想着瓜分罗。
罗夫人，
若不给我一个完美答复，接下来就交给我吧。我不介意。告诉你们的家主践踏王，他陨落。